Yeah.
And we are live. Let me see.
Yes, we are. We are live on Inspire Her. How are you guys doing tonight?
Beautiful.
All right.
Excellent.
I'm happy that you guys are here with us on Inspire Her, the Total Woman. And we're going to take a moment to share out the link. So for those of you who, I don't think anybody started watching yet, but for those of you who may be watching right now, we are going to take a technical break to share our links to our page. So,
Okay, so it'll probably move me to a different screen in order to do it, and then continue on Facebook. All right. So yes, we are live. I am live on mine. You guys should be able to go live as well.
I can share it to, if you would like for me to share it to your page, I can do that.
Yeah.
It's probably the easiest way.
Okay, I can do that.
Hello, 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 Facebook. Keep on getting out of the view. There we go.
Maybe I can do that. I don't think I can do that. I can't share it to the page. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to first of all, tonight we want to say hello from Fee and Red. And tonight, guys, we're usually going online on podcasts, and we aren't usually live. But we decided that we were going to do something a little different tonight.
Yes, we are. We are live.
And we decided we were going to put a bunch of people together and talk about, are we doing too much or not enough in these relationships that we're having with each other? This is going to be a no holds barred conversation. And when we say no holds barred, that means that you can ask whatever you want within reason. So we have some questions that we've gotten from you guys. We have some questions that we've come up with. And of course, there are going to be questions that are created from comments that are being made. And I already see Frank laugh.
I know.
Something going on in his head. But Inspire Her, guys. You know what we're all about. Inspire Her. We want to inspire women. We want to empower women. And if we just so happen to inspire some men as well, that is an added plus. But tonight is just, we want to know what men are thinking. Men want to know what women are thinking. And we're going to divulge some secrets tonight, maybe.
Get some good information on. First of all, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Red, the other half of Red and Fee.
And I'm Fee.
And I'm just sipping on a little red wine. We have Kayla Perla. You want to introduce yourself?
Hey, everybody. I'm Katrina. I'm sipping on my pink Moscato.
All right. Frank the Tank.
What's up, everybody? Frank the Tank, a.k.a. Malcolm Fan and Little Reno's daddy. And I'm sipping on some vodka and cranberry juice.
I know that's right. Welcome, Miss Toya. How are you?
Hey, how you doing? I'm Toy. I have sweet tea.
No, some sweet tea.
Yes.
Peggy. We can't hear you, Peggy. Maybe she should have been at the library today. We're going to come back to you, Mr.
Jason. Hey, I'm Jason. I am one half of the Kingston Move On podcast, and I'm sipping on a little Jameson meat.
I'm not hearing the audio.
And Mr. Khalil.
We lost one.
Say this out one more time.
Khalil, can you hear us?
Khalil, your turn.
It's on my MacBook.
I don't think you can hear us.
You can hear us? There's always some technical difficulties when you're trying to do something right, but
Absolutely.
Default.
we can hear. Let me see. All right. Well,
Hello.
hello. Hey, Khalil.
I think he said something about a MacBook.
Hello.
We can hear you. He might need to take his headphones off. All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna let him. We're gonna let him try to figure out his system. I think we lost one. What happened to?
We lost Peggy.
I think she's fixing her internet. But Fee, tell the people
Did we lose Tori?
and what's the purpose. You know, where did you come up with this idea of the no holds barred?
Well, when I lived in Richmond, I used to get a bunch of my friends together, even amount of guys and girls, and we would have a party. We would have, some drinks, some food, and we would just, because we were always getting together talking about, man, such and such in my relationship. I just don't understand why men do this. And then guys would be like, well, I don't understand why y'all do that. So I said, well, you know what? Let's get each other together and ask the question. And so that's what we used to do. And we called it no holds barred because you could ask the questions you wanted to ask. And the people there, they had to answer. And so, it was always respectful. No one ever, got mad at anybody else. At least I don't think so. But it was fun. And we played games sometimes. And that's when I went to Red. I said, hey, let's do that online and see, what comes of it. So tonight we're just going to ask questions. Feel free to ask your own questions. If you don't want to answer something, I mean, you can bow out, but we hope you don't. And we're gonna be respectful of each other. So our first question, Khalil, can you hear us yet?
He's on mute.
It looks like he had the same problem that Red had on the dry run. What did you figure out with yours that night? He wasn't on there, was he?
He came on.
Yeah.
Mine was, my internet stuff, but I'm on my iPad now. But I think he had talked about mentioned his iMac. So here's Peggy. Let's welcome her back in, and hopefully she'll have.
Just take his earphones off because that's the problem I had.
Can y'all hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started.
Put your glasses back on, Peggy.
You know what?
You trying to say she can't see?
I want to ask this question to the ladies first. So, where
I can hear you now.
Y'all ready?
You can hear us? Great. All right.
Woo-hoo. All right. This came from the fellas. Where does sex rank in level of importance in a relationship? Who wants to tackle that? Where does sex rank in the level of importance in a relationship? Trina got some facial expressions going on.
You sat up for that one.
Yeah, like
it ain't time to drink right now, Jason.
Not yet. Okay.
Go ahead, friend. I think you got our hair.
Toy, you want to answer that?
Sure, I'll answer that. I would say that just from my personal experience, the last relationship I was in, he fit everything on paper, but sexually, it wasn't there for me. So we lasted about 3 months. So it's not everything, but there has to be some sort of sexual connection or chemistry for you to have a meaningful relationship, I feel. So sex is probably number 3 for me.
Wait a minute, we're not on a virgin. This is not a virgin podcast.
Oh wow, you know good well.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I need to cut off. I'm sorry, y'all. My apologies.
Well, what's number 1 and 2 then, George?
Yeah.
Then for me, number 1 would be a relationship with God, and then family would be number 2. So sex would be number 3.
Okay. God, family, and then bring that thing. I got you.
Right.
And relationship with whose family? Like your family or his family or what?
Just family in general, somebody that's family oriented. I have children, so I would need that connection as well, to be connected to my children if we're going to be in a relationship.
So if he got some good but he can't get along with your kids, that's
it's not gonna work. That's never gonna work.
It can't be a BAN as we talked about.
Never going to work, no.
A BAN.
Explain to the people, Frank the Tank, what a BAN is.
Or as Peggy would call it, a DS. Was it a DSD?
DSD, something like that. DSW.
Yeah. A backup. A band is a backup man.
Okay.
Let's back up 1 second.
But that's not a relationship. That's not the DSD and the BAN is not considered a relationship.
Khalil didn't get a chance to introduce himself. Khalil, go ahead and introduce yourself. We'll go back to that.
Did he fall out again?
Can you hear me, Khalil? All right, well.
Peggy,
Can you hear us, Khalil? All right, well, we're going to go back. Go ahead.
anybody else had a response to where they rank? Where the sex rank?
Sex is up there, right? Because I feel like you have to be sexually attracted to somebody, or like, for example, I had a relationship and I think it might have been about 6 months, but I thought about cheating every single day.
Whoa.
I was not sexually satisfied. And if I'm not sexually satisfied every day, you gonna make me walk in the door, I would just be upset. Because I'm not sexually satisfied. I don't get to have that smile on my face like, woo, he put it down last night. Woo. So it is really up there. I kind of agree with my friend though, like, God first, family first, sex.
Oh yeah, of course.
Sex is up there, and it needs to be great.
Well, let me ask a follow-up to that. You said you were with somebody and you thought about cheating every day. So how long were you with that person then?
It was like 6 months.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I was just, I was young and I was just like, well, he fits everything else. I got smart. You know what? I'm thinking about cheating, so I don't need to be with him, really, because I'm really not satisfied and it's not getting any better.
So how'd you break up with him?
I mean, I just was like, this isn't working out. We're still with good friends, but I was just like, this isn't working out for me.
But did y'all talk about it? Did you try to work through it, help him whatever the issue was?
I did.
It didn't work.
I really did. It didn't work.
It didn't work.
I tried everything.
Jason, did you have that experience? Because you surely had a lot of follow-up questions.
No, actually.
You kind of shocked him with that question.
I mean,
did she stun you a little bit?
No. I actually saw a post on social media, and it talked about sexual compatibility and how important is it. So I thought it was a good question for the panel. But me personally, no. No.
What did you answer that?
okay.
No.
So, Katrina, when you broke it down to him, or how was his response? Because everybody, they say they want the truth, but a lot of times when you tell them stuff like that, they don't receive it well.
Actually, he was mature about the situation. He definitely understood. He didn't get upset. He didn't get mad. He was just kind of like, if I can't fulfill you in that type of way, and we've tried different things. He was like, I definitely understand, and we need to go our separate ways.
Okay.
Good.
Y'all
Well,
talk about before
let's be real
y'all
about
had
it.
sex?
Say
Did
it
y'all
again,
talk
Frank.
about like what you liked and what he liked before y'all had sex though?
No, probably not.
See, that's bullshit. I'm sorry, that's bullcrap.
Excuse me.
Sorry, that's bullcrap.
No,
We,
yeah.
we really need to know that type of stuff. I'm sorry if I can't curse. Let me know. But I'm gonna be honest. But that's the type of shit that men and women should know from the jump. Just like, what's your favorite food? Okay, what position you like? What do you like to do? What do you like? How do you like it? Do you like it rough? You like it soft? You like it hard? You like it slow? You like it fast? You like it sloppy? Shit, tell me. Talk to me.
Well, you know what?
All at one time, I mean.
That question was raised in another group, and it was, why can't we talk about these things just like we talk about what do I like to eat?
Mhm.
What do I like to do? Do I like to read? Do I like to ride a bike? Well, what? Why
What
can't
do you like? No, sorry.
we talk about that?
What's your freak number?
There you go. Why is it taboo?
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
That's a good question.
yeah. Especially if you're with somebody one-on-one. Why is it? It should be open door. Let's talk about anything.
So
But-
would you raise that question? Like if we were on a date and you met me for the first time and we just, starting out, you would raise that question?
So I won't hit you with the first date. No, I'll ease you into it. I won't be like, so, like lobster? That's cool. You like to get this? No, I won't hit you like that. not on the first date.
So when do we start talking about sex?
Right.
That's a good question. What do you think, Frank? Because I know
Shit,
you.
the second text. I mean, the second day. We
The
didn't talk
second
about
date.
this stuff.
Did you call it a test?
No,
He
text
did.
message. Text message, phone call.
Somebody said
We really need to talk about it. We really need to see, because what we're trying to do, we're trying to figure out if we're compatible. Now, we ain't got to have sex on the second day, but like Nelly said, unless we're going to do it. But the thing is, you want to know. You really want to know those things, because if somebody doesn't like things that you like sexually, what's the point of even staying in a relationship? What's the point of even trying to be in a relationship if that's the case? You're gonna be in the 6 months. You're gonna waste your time 6 months with.
Why you had to say 6 months? Why you had to say 6 months?
Well, you don't want to brought it up there, Gay. I'm just saying,
Yeah, but you know what? Too, I'm not gonna send you out, Kate, but since you did bring it up, but listen, we all know if we ain't coming through or not. It's now Frank's talking about.
How y'all know?
Come on. I mean, I ain't talking about you faking it. I'm talking about if it's not good sex. If you didn't have a good night, and you're like, well, girl, this was my, been a while. Give me another chance. It don't happen to me like that. But,
right.
and if y'all continuously having sex and you just not satisfying her,
And the same way. If y'all are not satisfying us, I mean, y'all, I'm pretty sure you guys or women would like to know, hey, this is not hitting it. Let's try it this way. Or you don't want us to be rude or say anything, out of pocket, but I'm pretty sure y'all would want to know as well. And feelings are going to get hurt on both ends, but the truth is the truth.
All right. So everybody answered. Everybody got it all out. What you want to know about that question? All right. For those of you who are watching on Facebook or wherever you're watching from, we are Inspire Her with Red and Fee. We are talking about relationships. Are we doing too much or not enough? And it's a no holds barred conversation. We're going to be asking some questions, and then you're going to stem some questions from those. And if you're watching and you have questions, put them in the comments, and we'll see if we can get those questions answered while we're online. So we got a couple beforehand. We were able to ask for some questions. So one of the questions that we had, do men feel uncomfortable when their woman or girlfriend or wife makes more money than them?
No.
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 I
I
don't.
would
I
think
don't see a
so.
problem.
It actually inspires me to want to do better, to want to step my game up. So now it doesn't bother me at all. Now, wait a second. Now, if she clocking in $500,000 or something like that, and I'm sitting here at 90 or 100,000, yeah, that may bother get you a certain way. But if we talking about 25, 50, 75,000, no, I don't think it'll bother me too much.
I think. Well, personally, I don't have a problem with it, but I think for some men, it depends on the scenario. Like if the woman is doing very well financially, and the way she handles herself or carries herself with the money makes him feel less than, it could be a problem for him.
Okay.
So
Because,
what would be some ways that she would make him feel less than?
well, a man wants to feel like being a man, right?
Right.
Even if he's not bringing home the bacon per se in that relationship, he still wants to feel like he's being the man.
Mhm.
So sometimes when women make more money, they tend to feel like they're the decision maker.
Yeah,
They tend to feel like, well, I got the money, so
you ain't shit.
yeah. You say, baby, no, I don't want to do that. Let's just do this. Like, I got it. I can do whatever. You like, okay, you're right, and that kind of stuff.
Right.
So that can be an issue for me.
I do think I do think it takes very mature, couple to be able to handle that situation, because a lot of times, that's easier said than done, because people egos, especially with that, people are look at status and material things and stuff like that. So sometimes that does put men in a position where kind of like it may hurt their ego a little bit, especially like if you said, if it's like a big difference in salary or income. So I think that that does, but I think it takes a real honesty, being honest about the situation and how it making you feel, and then also being mature as to being able to handle that, because a lot of people can't handle that.
Well, and one thing I'll say that, like almost 20 years ago, I was when I was married, and I made the most money out of me and my ex-wife and my wife at that time. But then I was in the mortgage industry, and when my income went from up here to down here, she had that quote unquote power, and in my opinion, she may look at it differently, but she took it a different. She abused that, and there was a lot of arguments that came along with that. There's a lot of arguments of her saying that I should get this job and this job, but I've been a salesman since been a salesman. So for you to tell me that I need to go and change my profession up altogether, that just brought a lot of arguments and a lot of mistrust. It's just everything. Everything else that came with a marriage. The only thing that I didn't do on my end, I don't know about her, but the only thing that didn't happen on my end was the cheating. But everything else, the finances that couples argue about, the power that couples argue about, we had that, and it was bad. So,
Do you think it was in her approach and how she came at you, or was it just
hell yeah. Hell yeah. You can't just come to me and tell me, bless you. You just can't come to me and just talk to me any kind of way, because it's still, at the end of the day, I'm going to try to respect you, going to try to respect me, and I'm still a man.
Yeah. Plus, when you lose, like
some
you said,
ego?
when you lose a major amount of income in that type of situation, um, that already does something to the person itself mentally anyway. Because that's like a major loss. You know what I'm saying? So you have to process that. So then so that's a lot. I mean, it's a lot. But like I said, I don't think a lot of I don't think everybody can handle that situation. It takes a really mature, couple to be able to handle that. It can be done, but but it just takes, a lot of, putting things on the table and being honest about it and all that kind of stuff and being able to, work through it. But everybody can't handle that, but it's doable.
It is. Any other feedback to that question? All right. I think one of the guys wanted to know, why do women think they're always right? I mean, we are most of the time.
Yeah.
We are.
We are.
Always right.
See what I'm saying?
Is.
See what I'm saying?
Because
Right.
most of the time we are.
End of discussion, right?
End of discussion.
Done. Moving on. No, I mean, okay. So
We listen.
We do listen.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
You say we don't listen, Jason?
Right. Is that what you saying, Jason?
oh, you about to get ganged up on, Jay.
He said.
You about to get it.
No,
Frank
communication
tripping out.
relationship is very important. Communication is. I think I'm the type of woman I can admit when I'm wrong.
That one time?
No, whenever. But you need
Frank,
to be able to do the same.
Well, Frank.
But wait a minute. I can admit that there's been several times where I thought I was right and I didn't want to hear nothing, or I'm talking to you, but I already got my mind made up.
Yeah, me too.
And I've had to come back and be like, I'm sorry. I had to, but then sometimes it just, sometimes we just feel like it just depends on, how much we care about the relationship. Sometimes if we don't care, we just.
Yeah. And it's a difference in us saying that, we think we right and not being open to, other ideas or viewpoints because we're looking at it a certain way. We're not saying that because most of the time, we as women, we kind of like research and play out all the different scenarios and stuff like that. So usually when we're trying to, like, especially when it comes to like major decisions, a lot of times we kind of do a lot of research. So to kind of make sure that what we're trying to do is, the right, really down the right line that's going to, be most advantageous, for it.
I just saw 4 heads. Mm-hmm. You good? Yep, sure.
What I heard.
Think about
like
stuff.
20 or something, and we just be like, just flying off the, the cuff. But at this stage of the game, we just can't make, just fly by night decisions. We got to make sure that everything, because we have priorities and we got things that, if we make the wrong decision, we can have some, we got stuff to lose. So most of the times we don't just make, random fly by night decisions or whatever, or or I'm just gonna have a drink and and by the time I finish drinking, this is what I'm gonna do. No, we think that stuff out. We research it.
So what you're trying to say is men like to fly off our ass and say we're gonna make this decision.
No, but that's not what we're saying.
You will have us flying right behind you.
And then
That's not what we're saying. That's not what we're saying, Frank.
Help
But let me ask this. Because Toy was clapping, but she's on mute.
She doing the same.
Come you, baby, and tell me what you got to say. I need to hear that voice. Come on.
I was agreeing with her because I do think we as women, we take more time to think out actions. Like if you go back to Trina, she said she was in a relationship for 6 months. She thought about cheating, but instead of doing that, she actually worked with her partner to try to come to a common ground or try to work out their differences. And I also think when it comes to women thinking that they're right, I feel like if you have a man that you feel like is a good leader, that you can follow, that makes all of the difference. So
that's the thing.
Okay. So yeah, it just depends on the male that you have in your life, because if you trust him to do right by you all and your family, then you will definitely allow him to make the decisions and then follow his lead.
Where's
My
Kevin?
opinion.
Where's Kevin Samuel?
And you have to
Where's
be
Kevin?
led by God, and you have to follow God. That's right.
So let me ask
Hey,
you
you on
this.
mute.
Who's on mute?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh.
Let me ask you this.
What
Since we're
Khalil
talking
at?
about
We can't hear from him.
Right.
men leading and you following. So let me say, if
Shoot,
you
I'm trying to make sure I can hear everything.
You hearing this bullshit, Khalil?
Rita said yes, lead, and Candy gave us.
Yeah, over there trying to stay in the corner and not say nothing.
Oh Lord, Frank, what you over there sipping on for real?
Jason.
What you
What?
sipping on for real, Frank?
I told Khalil he hear this mess. Go ahead, Khalil.
What?
Say your
That ain't
piece,
no
man.
mess. Oh, you want some backup? That's why you want Khalil.
Speak your piece, Khalil. Can you hear me, Khalil?
Y'all talking all over Jason. He was trying to make a point.
Go ahead, Jay Money. Go ahead.
case in point.
Oh, y'all just proved a man point.
Yeah. See? Let me talk. Let me say something. Talk. But let me say, I think it has to do with your upbringing. So let's say if you're a woman and you're raised in a house with a woman only. Say the man, your father wasn't really there, wasn't impactful. You may have an outlook on a man, whereas you just feel you are the leader anyway because your mom was the leader in the house. You know, I mean, I've had that past relationship where her mother was a strong figure in the house, and the dad was just kind of, you know, he just kind of rolled with the punches. So when you meet a man that's like, no, I don't do that. I actually stand up for what I think and feel. There's an issue because she was raised a certain way.
I can agree with that.
We agree with that. You see all the head nodding, Frank? We agree with him too.
Yeah.
Especially if you are raised with a very strong-minded, if you are raised by a very strong-minded woman, you kind of take on those characteristics.
And that's true because a lot of and fortunately and unfortunately, a lot of black women had to take that role in a lot of black women had to take that role in the 50s and 60s. With absentee men or whatever the case may have been, they had to be that primary person, and that's how the generation that I'm in, I guess you can call us a Generation X's. We come from a long line of strong black women, so therefore they're going to raise strong black women, which falls in where you a lot of these women are right now.
Right.
I think you can still be a strong woman, and still choose to be with a partner that is a leader, though.
Yeah.
I think that I am a strong woman. I think my friend would say the same thing, but I still want a man that would lead.
Tell you to shut up. I'm gonna handle this. Shut the hell up, Toy. Let me handle this.
That's not what that means, though. That's not what leading
That's
means.
aggressive. I don't know if that's strong.
Lord, Frank.
Frank, they want you to be strong in the bedroom, but quiet in the living room.
Yeah.
Okay?
No, but being strong and leading a woman doesn't mean like shut the hell up when he's talking, y'all. It actually means like you have a certain level of respect for him, and you still will reach out to your man before you make important decisions, and you will listen to his guidance. That's
Right.
what
Can't be
Even
yelling.
though we know what we gonna do,
Yelling
we
at
want to
you.
act like you. We giving y'all feedback. Cavani said, even with that, some women we still know that they need a strong man, and she said exactly, Toy. Yeah. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, we got comments. Oh, I didn't know we had comments.
I don't want a weak guy. Well, I don't.
Oh,
want
I definitely don't want no weak. I definitely don't want no weak man.
man. I'm strong, up head, but I want a strong man. I don't want a fat man. I don't
what's
want
strong man?
I want him to be like, look now, come on now.
And just because, and
You
even if
want
he's strong in the bed,
him to get you straight is what you
Yeah, give me straight off. Like,
but I want him to get me straight based on the fact that he on his knowledge, not just because he's just trying to use his muscle. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna follow a guy who at this certain stage they haven't have done major things like okay, if they're not taking care of their kids, or they don't have a good relationship with their parents or their family, and they don't they don't value their credit, or they stuff. No. I'm put that type of trust in a, if I haven't seen, if I'm involved with that person and I haven't seen that they have made some smart decisions when it comes to their finances and just the things that they're doing, that determines whether or not I'm going to have some type of confidence in them to make a good decision for us as a partnership. But, if I see that, oh yeah, I would gladly, yeah, take the lead. You know what I'm saying? Because we have we've done it for so long, for the most part, so we already know what it entails. But if we're not seeing that in the guy, yeah, and I think that's a lot. I think that's a lot of the stuff that we may have reservations about because we're not seeing that if they're not making certain decisions that we already know are going to be questionable.
Exactly. So Esther said, what is the definition of a strong man? And ladies or gentlemen can answer this.
No, I want to hear y'all. I want to hear this.
No. I want to hear you guys tell us what you think is strong man.
Well, wait a minute. Before you do that, though, so Khalil said he can only hear Peggy. So Peggy, you get the question so Khalil can answer. He can only hear you for some reason.
Say it again.
He can only hear Peggy.
He can only hear Peggy. He said in the chat.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Khalil. That means we got the best sound. That's what that means, Khalil.
You are.
Repeat your question. What you said was the definition of what?
What is it? Esther says, what is the definition of a strong man?
Khalil, they want to know what's the definition of a strong man.
Definition of a strong man, in my opinion, somebody who can lead, make the hard decision, can just run a household.
I agree with that.
And
a lot of the men that we say aren't strong, that's the reason because they come in. Well, some of them, not a lot. Some they want to come in and be the man, but they're not leading the household.
Well, I want to
what's the definition of leading the household?
I want a man that can communicate his feelings, that's emotionally strong, that's mentally tough. That's included in all of that. It makes a strong man to me.
Well, what's your definition? What's a woman's definition, or what are you women's definition of leading a household?
I can tell you. Well, first, my idea of a strong man is somebody that can come into the household and take care of business. I've been leading my household for a very long time, and you get tired. So, come in and take care of paying the bills. Make sure the grass is cut. Make sure all these things are done. I'll take care of all the rest of the stuff.
So he should pay the bills? When the bills come, he should pay them? Or what do you mean?
Make sure.
Yeah. It's not like we want to be in the blind and not knowing how our finances are going and just putting it all in that one person's hand. Even if you're paying it jointly, if you're getting together every once a month and you're going over your monthly bills or whatever, and because you need to have a financial snapshot of where you are every month. If you're not doing that and you just going by you wait till you get the cutoff notice before you pay the bill.
Or making a partial payment.
Making a partial. I can put 25 on it.
Put something on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna put something on it.
I don't know when the last time I put something on the bill.
Yeah, look, that was the 20s. Look, that was in our 20s.
Like Candace
I'm saying together we pay the bill.
Like Candace said, at least care about the finances of what's going on in the house.
Yeah.
And Esther said again, what about sharing leadership? People have different skill sets.
Yes.
Finished.
What did she say?
I'm saying, and then too, when it comes to a strong man as well, somebody that can come in and be there for the children, somebody that the children can look up to, not just us. Our kids got to be able to look up to.
Okay,
you.
so I have a
father.
I have a question for that. If you already have children and you're getting into a relationship with a man and y'all are in love, whatever, who's first, your children or your man?
I would say that my children are always going to come first, and I think that's an issue that I might struggle with. And what I feel like is, hopefully, if I meet a man and he has children as well, then we will put our children first collectively. I think that for me, I find it strange a little bit when people say, oh, in the Bible, it says that your husband is supposed to come first, but they want to follow that rule in the Bible, but everything else, they negate everything else. So just for me, and I've been engaged, and I haven't been married, and I'm okay with that. I don't think I necessarily believe in marriage at this point, but I know for me, my children will always come first. And like I said, if I do meet a man, I feel like we would have that same common goal. I don't think it should be a struggle between who you gonna put first, because it's always going to be my children. They're young now. As they get older and they start their own families, then I can understand that, okay, me and my husband, we're gonna do our own thing, you have your family, but as for right now, my boys will always come first.
In a situation with that though, let's say if you're saying that you want your children will come first, then that leaves your man out. And I'm not saying that you're right or wrong, I'm not saying that at all, but what I am saying is, if you're bringing children into a relationship, just like if they're bringing children into a relationship, how are you all gonna do a discipline thing if he's at the house, or y'all living together, and that child comes in and is in there just being disrespectful to him? What is he supposed to do? Come and talk to you? Say, Toy, you know what? This little bastard coming and saying, cussing at me, and I ain't gonna have this. I'm gonna knock his little ass out. What if he knocks his little ass out?
Well,
first of all, why are you gonna call the child a bastard?
Little bastard. That's what my grandmama used to call us. My grandmother used to say, "Hey, we ain't gonna come in, you little bastard." So I'm just.
But I think that when you're first dating someone,
What if that was you?
if you're going to get serious, I feel like that's a conversation that needs to be had about discipline, how you all are going to decide to discipline the children collectively. I would hope that would be addressed.
It could create a problem, though.
Yeah.
It could.
Frank,
calling the girl child a bastard.
Them babies, kids, yeah, it could.
Now, Frank, your daughter is your everything.
Yeah.
Your daughter comes first on everything.
Yeah.
So how do you handle it when the woman come in?
No, that's single. That's the reason why I'm single. We on this podcast to try to find some shit out. Help me. Help me find somebody where I can say, you know what, this is going on.
I had that situation when I got married.
Me too.
When I got married. And, I had to make sure he was the right person to bring into my life. So that's why I had to figure it out before I brought him into my daughter's life. I had to make sure that he was ready and that I would trust him to make decisions for my daughter. And if she was disrespectful, I would automatically be able to trust that he's going to discipline her in the correct manner. Okay. Now, I will say this. I am now divorced, but my daughter and my ex, that's her daddy.
Yeah.
And that's how much I trusted him to be able to make those decisions for her.
I think children comes first until you establish the relationship. Then the man has to come first because he's going to be the provider ultimately and lead the family. So I think kids come first just until you get that foundation.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to jump that bone and go straight to the man. But ultimately, he going to have to lead. He going to have to be a role model. So he's going to have to come first.
Right.
So
transition. I agree 100%.
And one thing for Khalil.
Yes.
What if your kids don't get along with your significant other?
That's gonna be a problem.
That's gonna be a problem.
Let me address that one. Even though I don't have children, I was, my mom and my dad divorced, and then she met my stepdad, and then they got together, and me and him didn't get along at first. And it was very tough because I was used to just being with my mom for a couple of years because, daddy was over there and, it was just me and my mom. And my stepdad, I remember him one day because my mom was like, this ain't going to work. Oh, my God, this ain't going to work. Y'all not getting along. My stepdad sat me down and he was like, we got to make this work.
A real man.
Because I love her, she loves me, and I love you too. I want y'all as my family. We have to make this work. And from that day on, I respected him so much. One for coming in and to being a father to me, and an amazing father, an amazing provider. It just, on so many levels. So, I'm kind of like the product of that. But sometimes you just have to have a conversation because it might be hard and difficult for the kids. They just been with mom for so long, or they just been with daddy, so.
And I had that situation. Yeah, my ex-wife, I came in with a blended family. She didn't have kids. I did. And her and my oldest were just every time my son would come over, we just like with an attitude. And she started getting an attitude too. And I just told them, I sat them down. I remember sitting them down in our house at that time, like, look, I love her. I love you. Y'all go figure it out. You guys go figure it out. Mm-hmm. And before he passed, they were extremely close. He would go talk to her before he would come talk to me, and that kind of pissed me off. But you know what? I appreciated and I loved and I respected that relationship.
Well, let me ask this question. One thing Toya said.
Yeah, let me add to that. So the easy answer would be to walk away, but it's patience. So kids are hard.
Yeah.
So definitely got to take your time, let them get to know you, because they're not going to like you off the bat, especially if you're messing with their moms. If you're the man, they're not going to like that because they don't recognize you. You ain't familiar.
Esther said using the word
so
first
that's
can
normal.
be problematic.
So that's just patience.
Yeah.
What Esther say?
Esther said
I say just patience, taking your time.
He can only hear you. Esther said the word first can be problematic. So what do you men say to women like Toya that she made a comment like she didn't believe that she would get married? What do you guys say to us successful, beautiful Black women, strong Black women that don't have faith in marriage and don't feel like they're going to get married? What do you guys say to that, to a woman?
Don't ask me. I don't have faith in either. But no.
Back and say, what the world?
No, listen. So there's like the issue we have, and I think it may be us or maybe everybody, but you get used to being on your own. You get used to handling your business the way you handle your business, and then a man comes along and wants to be the man and kind of takes something off you. And y'all said, hey, if he's a leader, he's this and this, I will step back. But some women don't. Some women say that, but they're so set in their ways of being the head of the household, they have problems submitting. And you don't take submit as, bow down, master. Submit means there's a role here. You the man, you my man, come in and be the man. I will submit these things to you if I trust your decision making. But some women have that problem, like, well, I don't know if I can do that. I want to still be the leader, or we want to be like here, and it can cause friction. So
some of these women don't understand that they got some badass kids too.
Well, I wouldn't talk about the kids.
Well, we passed kids.
What happened?
He's
ruined.
Frank, somebody messed you up.
Frank, yeah, Frank, I'm gonna need you to kind of, see somebody. Frank need like a bear hug.
Hey, forget y'all. I'm just trying to tell you.
Wait a minute. Khalil got a question.
Jason, you made some really good points. And me? Yeah, you did. And that just
before Frank starts going online.
And that just goes back to our faith in men.
Yeah. Because it is a lot. It is hard for us to let go. Like you said, we so used to doing things, and then when we do meet a person who is, a good guy, and we may, because we, have been, dealing with, may have, dealt with some, funny does in the past or whatever, and then when we do meet somebody who is genuine and, good, it does take a while for us to, to allow ourselves to be vulnerable and allow that man to, to do that. But you know,
situation
but you may not realize that we're doing it. But a good, a good person, like if you make it known to them, let them know, because they may not realize that they are holding back like that until it's brought to their attention because they so used to doing it.
What about in a situation where you got a man who works a lot? I have a friend of mine whose boyfriend, husband, fiance, whatever you want to call him, he works 12 to 16 hours a day. And there's a situation where they are still, when he comes home, he's tired. I can understand he's tired, but there are still responsibilities of the house, maybe cutting grass, maybe doing something else that she expects him to do. What is your opinion as a woman? What is your opinion on that? Someone who works 16 hours a day, 4, 5, 6 days a week.
Well, they need to hire somebody to cut the grass.
Yeah, me personally, I'm like this, and I'm not insensitive to think, oh, you working all these hours and you still supposed to be able to, no, because my thing is with that, if you working that, if they're working that type, that type of schedule, realistically, I'm a no. Oh, you're not gonna be able to do all these things, and so I'm like this. If something needs to be done and they're not physically able to do it, I'm gonna get it done. But everybody's not like that. But so if he's not able to do certain things on a certain schedule and need to get done, it's gonna get done.
So if he's providing in that way financially, and if he's providing in that way financially, is there something that a woman should do as far as saying, okay, you know what, he's not home a lot.
Yeah.
Let me look on Craigslist, or let me look on Facebook and Marketplace and see if I can find someone.
That's right. Yeah. I'm gonna have a person to call for plumbing and HVAC. I'm gonna have a person to call if for y'all work, especially if that's not his specialty, because everybody can't do all that kind of stuff, and you got to know your gifts. Everybody can do that type of stuff. I'm gonna know. It's if I need an electrician, I'm not going to sit there and let him experiment on the wiring in our house if that's not his specialty. So no, I would. Me personally, I'm going to take that initiative to make sure those things, because that's what a partnership does. If you know that.
Do you look at him less as a man for not being able to do that stuff though?
No,
I know.
No. Especially if that's brought to the table and you already discussing and say, look, I'm calling the HVAC and people, because the AC's not working, the senator. So I'm calling them this week. So if you hear when they get here, I'm letting you know that I already called. That's what a partnership does.
The partnership.
Yeah. It's not nothing that I'm gonna say, oh, so because I don't know no man that can't do no AC. You must not be no real man. I don't know. But see, that's the maturity level, and of course, they don't make men like they used to. But I'm not gonna hold it against.
No, we ain't slaves no more. You're right. They don't make slaves like they used to.
Peggy throw a knife.
I ain't gonna take it. I ain't gonna hold it against.
So Khalil had a question, which is a good question. We're gonna go back to the kids for a minute. He said, what if oh no, his question was, in the dating stage, can a man discipline the children?
No.
Uh-oh.
She said
How
that
early?
Toya protected by her boys. Don't play with Toya's boys.
But when I'm dating someone, I don't really let them meet my kids anyways, unless I know it's going to be serious. Like I said, I had a boyfriend, and my kids weren't around him a lot. We did play dates with his kids and things like that, but I don't really let a lot of people around my kids, men or female friends. That's just me. I am protective of my children.
Until when? What's the time period?
What's the time period? Me and him were together. He met them close to the end of our relationship, honestly. That's just how it worked out. Like I said, we just didn't work out, and my kids met him one time, but I don't bring any and everyone around my kids.
So how old are your kids?
I have a 15-year-old, an 8-year-old, and my baby will be 6 on Wednesday.
Okay, so I understand babies and young children, Now, 15-year-old, you can talk to him like that's a young adult becoming a man.
Yeah. Now him, he doesn't like for me to date. He doesn't
Of
want me
course
to
not.
date
He's a young man, and he was mama,
he
so he
doesn't
don't
want
want
to meet
nobody coming
anyone.
through.
He want his
Yeah.
woman to himself.
But
So,
like
so
I
you
said,
had that baby boy syndrome then, Toy.
Nah, baby boy,
but like I said,
Mama.
you get to the point where you're comfortable with this man first. You
Right.
don't sound like you were you don't sound like you really liked him yourself.
Right, and that's what I was
Myself,
saying.
I gotta
Clean her face.
I gotta
He
see that person. I gotta see a long-term relationship with
Right.
this person before I introduce them to my children.
Right.
That's
Taking you back.
Yeah.
Peggy, what it's doing.
all right. So moving on to the next question. Is it true that when it comes to conflict, women we want to talk it out, and the men just want to internalize it or say, let's just talk about it later?
I would agree.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, you on mute. Okay.
Yes.
What'd you say, Frank?
Peg, I was just telling Kay and Peggy and Toy. I don't know how they keep going on mute, and Khalil's on mute too.
I think they probably putting themselves on it.
Yeah, I put myself on mute because my son is running around. Baby's
Look
kid
bad,
is
son.
running
Look
around.
bad kids, man.
You don't call me bad.
So y'all say that
You
men,
go on your next day, Frank. You
we
better
like to
let
talk.
all
Y'all
us
think we
know.
like to talk too much?
So let me answer that in a. So normally we do think a lot. We're more analytical. Women are more emotional. So there's times you want to deal with it right then. We want to think about it. We want to like, okay, I hear you, but let me process this. Because right now it might not come out right. And you want, let's talk about it. Let's talk right now. I'm like, no, trust me. Let me think about it and come back calmer, cooler. Because if I get hot now, we both can be hot. So
I agree with that.
Can't say this to a man.
But you gotta come back to it at
some point.
Yeah, don't
can't
never
be
not
like,
come back to it.
Exactly.
Say something about this because, like, me and
Please.
Trina, I've been talking to someone, right? And like last Tuesday, he got mad at something I did. I didn't even know I did anything. He was being very passive aggressive the next day and didn't tell me until Friday that he had an issue with something that I did. So to me, I feel like why not address it up front? Because when Friday, I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'm like, I don't care that, like, that was days ago. First, it's something stupid to be upset about, anyways. But now you want to talk about it Friday. Like, it just didn't make sense to me to not address it at that time or the next day.
Would you like for me to tell you why he did what he did?
Yes.
Please.
Go ahead, Frank.
Please do tell.
Get your popcorn ready. Here's what happened. Here's what happened.
Lord.
Every time, I'm not gonna say every time, but I'm gonna say a lot of times when women will bring up an issue, there's nothing that a man can say because like you all said, you already thought about all the scenarios. You all have thought about every scenario that could possibly be, except for what the man scenario is. You all think about all the scenarios in your head, but not the scenarios on what is inside that man's head. And that man is just like, okay, if I bring this up, if I tell her how I'm feeling, all she's going to do is she's not going to hear it. She's not going to listen. She's not going to hear it. And she's going to be ready for the objection. Objection, Your Honor. So what is the point of us even bringing it up? You know, and it festers in us. I'm not saying that we're right in it. I'm just saying that this is what we're thinking about. These are the things. These are the issues that we're thinking about. Like, oh God, here we go. If she's bringing something up, she pissed me off. If I even bring it up to her, she's gonna be like, "Well, here's the reason why I did this," and blah 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 blah. Shut the hell up.
What was the exact question again, so I could type it to Khalil?
Women, is it true that when it comes to conflict, women want to talk about it and men want to internalize it and talk about it later?
Well, we got a couple of comments. Candace says, my husband likes to talk, and I find that I'm the one that internalizes things. And Esther says, this society indoctrinated men to not share their feelings. In the past, men had to be ready for combat/war. Or, and little boys don't cry, you don't share your feelings kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they're taught that when they're little. You're right.
Yeah.
No.
Let's let Clear read the comment and see if you can respond.
Okay.
Well, Peggy, tell him to go off mute.
Peggy is.
He's still reading.
Tell who to go off mute. Khalil, they want you to go off mute.
All right,
Khalil, how come you can only hear Peggy? That's crazy.
All right, so that is true. Women like to talk about it. Men like to internalize it. That's right. That's normal for men. Just from like deep seated, from like probably people who've been in their lives influenced them. Maybe we should work on that, but that's eventually you're going to have to do it to communicate. That's the key to everything, in my opinion. But I do agree. Men do like to internalize a lot of things. I do it myself, but I'm way more transparent now. But yeah, I agree.
We lose more.
Peggy, ask Khalil why is he single? And when was the last time he had a relationship?
Peggy's got on.
Red, are you trying to holler, Red?
You heard that, Khalil?
Nah.
They said Sharita said. What you said?
Why are you single? And when was the last time he had a relationship?
Okay. She said, why are you single? And when is the last time you had a relationship?
I'm single by choice. I just don't want to be in a relationship right now. Okay. And my last relationship it's 2022. So like 21 August 2021.
That's fresh.
Okay. That's good.
Anybody else got anything to say about that?
About the internalized?
Okay. Let's see if we have any comments.
Never go to sleep angry. That's what I have to say about it.
No, never go to sleep angry.
Well, I can't say that I haven't done that before.
I have.
I have all the time.
Well,
you got time. Because sometimes I want to stay mad for a minute.
And it don't feel good when you go to sleep angry.
You don't. So can you date someone that has a different sex drive than yours?
No.
Well, we already know Trina's answer.
Cheetah.
I didn't cheat.
You didn't. You didn't.
Oh, but the answer is no. It ain't just Kate. All y'all sitting up here looking. You know the answer is absolutely not. You know you can't. No.
Go ahead, Frank. Go ahead, give us your answer.
Yeah, y'all might be able to. I don't know. Y'all might be able to deal with it, but
no, I know Frank.
And so I'm honest about mine. If their sex drive is on overdrive and I know I can't keep up. I
was telling Khalil, typing it for Khalil so he can answer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ask Khalil. Tell Khalil to answer that one.
Khalil, what was the question again?
Can you date someone that has a different sex drive?
I'm reading that.
Khalil, they want to know, can you date somebody who has a different sex drive than you?
I guess it depends. That sounds like a situational thing. It depends if they can give. Let's say if it's higher or less. It depends if they can give value in other ways, because it has to compensate. Like for lack, you have to match it somewhere else.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to expand. You're gonna have to expand on that. Everybody is like on that one. You got to expand.
All right, so let's say I'm with a woman and she has a lower sex drive than me. So that's in stone. That's already set. So now we're gonna have to find another area of that relationship that can be higher to just match it, to compensate for it. Just like it could be communication or just anything else. Like you just can't change that. So I just try to look for it in a different way.
You treat him like hell.
That doesn't work. It doesn't work. No.
That don't work. No. That don't work. I don't agree with that, Khalil.
Okay, so what?
No. Somebody could communicate. Communicate ain't got nothing to do with it down.
Exactly.
Ain't nothing to do with it. Smack it down, flip it down. Ain't got nothing to do with it.
Oh no! Yes.
Katrina said they ain't got nothing to do with it, Khalil.
Ain't got nothing to do with it. I feel like you can't change it at that point.
Frank said, "Rub it up and flip it down."
Listen, here's what.
No, Peggy, tell what she said.
Okay, so
she said you gotta put it down.
You have to do
I don't care about talking.
When you're having sex,
Jason said you got to put it down. He ain't about to talking.
Right. When you're having sex with somebody, that sex drive. I've been in relationships where the sex drive is.
It may be an energy thing. I don't know.
Right. You can be in relationships where the sex drive is more, but like I've been in there where the woman wanted it every day. I'm like, damn, I'm
every day
plus years old. And I've been in it where a woman has wanted it. It has had a high sex drive, but our sexual chemistry is off. Like I wanted it a certain way, and she wanted it a certain way. So it's all about that attraction of what you all are. That's again part of that first and second date conversations on what you like and what I like, and see if that meshes. Because if it doesn't, then we're wasting our time.
So that's one of the talks we have in the beginning.
Yeah, and then all in goes into what your interpretation of of that is. Your interpretation may be different from their from.
Hell yeah, because we gonna if it don't match mine, who gonna be on Pornhub? Who gonna be on whatever? Who gonna be on every damn thing? And they may be on the same shit.
You know what, Frank? I think that you're gonna need a little more resources outside of I think so.
Listen, I'm 48. I got time to try to
said he gonna need a little
sugarcoating shit just means you got some sweet shit. And then ain't no time to sugarcoat shit anymore.
What?
What was that?
I said we don't have 48. There's no time to sugarcoat shit. Because when you sugarcoat shit, that means you just ended up with some sweet, nasty shit.
And there it is.
You have a conversation, and sometimes the sex talk is, it can be a little uncomfortable depending on the people. But because we don't talk, that's when things get murky. And like, oh, but I didn't know you like that. Yeah, I like that. But I didn't know you like this position.
And then the sex talk could be, like a facade or a game. I mean, it could. I'm a shit talker. But then when it come down to it, I was just joking.
Give us some examples, baby. What do you mean?
I can talk plenty. I can talk plenty shit, but then
It's show and prove, Peggy. Show and prove.
I mean,
you was talking.
I can talk shit with the rest of them, and then I might can't show and prove. That's all I'm gonna say.
You can't back it up.
Yeah, don't look for no extra tricks and all that stuff for me. I mean, I might talk to John because I know that's what they want to hear. But then you be like, I was just playing.
So how important is foreplay? So how important is foreplay to everybody?
Yeah. Say it again.
How important is foreplay to everybody?
Do you need it?
Number one.
Yeah, that's crucial. That's crucial.
You gotta heat that stove up.
Yeah, yes. And for me, I'm a visual person, so I like to be seduced visually, like do some shit, do something that gets me going.
Okay. What you say?
Huh? Look at Trent like what?
You gotta eat that.
She got hypnotized for a minute. She was like,
look at my eyes, Phil.
You can't put the cookies in the oven and you put it at 375.
Khalil, they're cutting up.
Turn it on.
Khalil, they're cutting up.
Esther said, I think I'm too old for this podcast.
Me too.
No, you're not,
Me too,
Esther.
Esther. Me too, Esther.
No, you're not, Esther. Esther said she's been married 46 years, so the sex drive question is not a priority for her.
I know that's right. It really ain't no priority for me.
You ain't married. Old cruises, old Carnival cruises.
I think you know, I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes
let's ask the question you had for Khalil. How long have you been single? How long have you been single? And
okay, I've been single. And I've been telling people I've been single, but they ain't been believing me. I've been single since 2019.
You got a DSD.
How you know she ain't been since 2019?
A DSD does not count as whether or not you're that doesn't change your single or in a relationship status. A DSD is on the that's not counting. You don't count that.
Break glass in case of emergency.
Yeah, you don't count that, Frank.
Okay.
So you counting all that?
I ain't counting all that.
You don't count that.
You don't count that.
Yeah, the DSD don't nobody supposed to even know about that. You know what I'm saying? You're not bringing them to family dinners and cookouts and all that.
Rita said, "Really,
Toy, you're right. You don't bring your DSD cookouts.
That's just with the man, Michael Bay. That's your maintenance. That's your side maintenance. Just like you gotta keep your car running. That's what that is.
Just keep that.
I'm not breaking down for the family dinner. They're not meeting my kids.
Exactly. They not meeting nobody. They not meeting no friends.
They might meet Trina.
They ain't meeting none of my friends. Cause see, my friends, they automatically if they meet somebody, oh, look at that. Then they thinking, oh, how long? When y'all go? They'll be like, shut, don't do it. So I don't let nobody meet nobody no more. They my friends know they can't. They ain't nobody to go meet. Ain't gonna meet nobody no more. They might see somebody. They'll be shocked if they see me with somebody. Oh yeah, that's my husband. So that's how it's gonna be.
Oh, we ain't gonna know till you get married.
Yeah.
I's married now. All right, so why do women handle rejection better than men?
Rejection?
Yeah.
Because we know how to process our emotions.
If we tell y'all no, we're not interested, well, F you then. I ain't want your number no way. That was
ugly
anyway. Guys still do that.
That's because Sharita remember that because that's how they used to do it.
That's right. You F you ain't all that.
Jason, you want to answer that one? Khalil, ask Khalil.
I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Khalil.
Nah, Frank, you answer that. You answer it.
Ooh.
Why do women? You want me to answer that?
Go ahead, Tank.
Why do women handle rejection better? Yes.
Okay, get your popcorn ready again. Here's the reason why y'all do. Because y'all already have the BAM, y'all already had a DSD in your back pocket. So if y'all already got somebody that y'all already talking, look at Toy. You
I disagree. I don't think women handle rejection better than men.
Speaking
I say that because women are way more emotional than men. I say that's why they don't handle it better than men. Men have better outlets. They may work harder. They may go work out more. They may focus more on their business. Women, they may complain more. They may become more defensive or kind of just put themselves in a corner.
No, the men these days are more emotional. They don't handle rejection well as of lately. They don't know how to be men anymore.
You heard that, Khalil?
The men have turned to the new women.
At the body language.
Yes, Toya. Yes, I agree with that one.
Say it again.
Y'all have become the. Now I ain't gonna say y'all, just personally y'all, but more the men have become the Mitch.
How dare you?
You need to elaborate on that.
Wow.
No, I can't.
Oh, guys, I
I'm
know y'all not
Frank.
taking
I'm
that.
sorry, Frank. You know, I ain't talking about you.
For some
We
reason, I
know.
cannot hear Peg.
Come on, guys. I know y'all ain't taking that.
Sharita, the instigator.
I want to
Because
know.
they probably know some men who act like that. And I'm not saying it's all men, but as of lately, the new generation of men, and I believe it's because social media has influenced men to feel like they too are the bad bitches, like they say. So they take on that role. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. And I'm not saying it specifically to anybody on here, but that's just what I have encountered.
So you said
Emotionally unhealthy.
So you said social media has made men more emotional?
It's a factor.
Yes,
it's a
factor. Yes, I feel like a lot of people take their relationship advice from social media. That's what they look to. So they allow social media to influence how they handle their everyday life, in my opinion.
I agree with that.
You
I watch a lot of people watch social media and get influenced, even though it's fake lives.
It is fake news,
right?
Yeah.
Well, what about that Kevin Samuels and what his views on women?
Well, see, I'm probably minority, Red. I wasn't a big Kevin Samuels fan. I mean, I listened to it sometimes and I laughed at it because some of it was funny, some of it was like mean. But I wasn't a big fan. Now, I know a lot of guys, a lot of friends of mine, they swear by Kevin.
You need new friends. Really?
The Book of Kevin. They were like, man, Kevin said this.
You need new friends. You need new friends.
You need to invite them on one of the shows.
Yeah, so we can light them up.
Well, light me up, damn it. Let me
I think Frank likes Kevin.
Don't worry. Frank done lit everybody up for the whole team. He over there. That's why he got that red hot shirt on.
Go ahead, Frank.
Here's what I say.
Defend your boy.
Was Kevin Samuels' approach unconventional? Yeah. What Kevin Samuels' approach was unconventional. I'll just put it that way. However, what he was saying as far as what a lot of women expect from a man and what a lot of women expect our relationships, I truly think that he was on point with a lot of the things that he said. Here's the reason why I said that. A lot of women want, and mind you, I got 3 kids, so I want better. But a lot of these women will pass along a man that is a hardworking guy who wants to have a relationship, who wants to be in a marriage or a relationship with a woman, and they will be looking for what he called was a high value man, a man who earns 6 figures and does, brings in a lot of money. And that man will treat him like shit. Don't get me wrong, that man will treat him like shit, but that's what that woman wants. Now, do I think that he said what the things that he was saying as far as what women will pass by in order to achieve that? Yeah, they will. But again, on the other side of the fence, a man will too. Because I don't want to date a woman that's making $20,000 a year, $30,000, $40,000 a year. I want a woman that is my level or higher. But what he was saying was a lot of these women are expecting the world and ain't bringing the world in return. That's what I'm thinking. A lot of these women are saying, "Oh, I want this from me. I want this from me." Well, shit. What the hell are you bringing? If you ain't bringing nothing but 3 kids and telling me that I can't be the man of the house and telling me that I can't shake the shit out your little bastard, then shit, we got a problem.
Right.
You gotta shake the shit out that little bastard.
No, Frank. No, Frank. You cannot be calling the female child a bastard.
But I'm coming from love.
And then you want her to turn around and then be all nice and fuzzy and love it to you after you don't call her child.
Coming from love.
My question is, why do men think that just because you're interested in them that you should date them? Like, oh, he's a nice guy and he's interested. Why do you think that I have to date you because you're interested in me or I'm obligated? Like, that's
No,
what
I
it
don't think
sounds
that.
like.
No,
Because you're passing up a man who is nice and who would have did X, Y, and Z. But if I'm not attracted to you, then why
Yeah.
do I have to deal with that? Like, that's my
no.
preference.
I'm not saying that, but a lot of women are attracted to a man who has money, who has money, and that's the only attraction they have. That dude can be a butthole.
The only attraction.
What I'm saying, a lot of men will be like that guy's a butthole, and they're passing up on a man who may not have as much money as that other man, but can treat that woman with 100% respect. That's what I'm saying.
And it could go the same way for the men passing over the good woman because they don't have the shape or the body or the looks that they may want. You can have a bad bitch with no, but you know, an intelligent woman that may not have a body that
So we ain't got no
you'll
BBL.
pull up. Exactly.
What the hell is a BBL?
Brazilian butt lift.
Oh,
the fake booty.
Yeah,
but you know what I felt like. You know what I felt like that I've experienced is that I've had men who I feel like sometimes came off like they were intimidated of me or something like that. And
because you don't cheat on them.
No.
Shut the hell up, right?
then when you act like that, I feel like they're not confident. I wouldn't fool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have some wild stuff, and I just be like, what? Because I don't even come off like that. Yes, I'm a little spoiled, damn it. And yes, I like my nice things. But damn it, I go get it myself. I work hard, I do my shit, and I go get it myself. So, but I guess because some men feel like, because like one guy was like, oh, I can't buy you a townhouse and get you a Lexus. I didn't ask you to, and you didn't buy this, nor get me the Lexus. So, next.
But you got some men who are out here to be like, hey, I'm going to spoil you. But you got to catch me. You got to catch me on payday. Because if you catch me on the 16th and you ask me about this shit, I can't do it. But you catch me on the 20th, girl, I got you. But now, don't ask me on the 23rd either, because after I finish getting you, I ain't got it no more. There are a lot of men in this situation. Actually,
then just say you ain't got it. Just say you ain't got it.
Right.
Just be honest. Because I don't want nobody. I wouldn't want anybody going into a financial strain, just trying to, to buy me something materialistic. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that at that point, the financial goals is out of, they ain't not in line. That the financial maturity and that a real woman at this stage of the game, I don't think they would want a person who they like. I'm gonna say like, who they really like, genuinely like. They wouldn't want to put somebody in a financial strain, put them in a financial strain to do something, just to do something for them. A mature woman wouldn't. But if they don't care how your lights on next week, but they want that but they want that Louis bag, and then next week you getting your truck or whatever towed away because you couldn't make your payment, and they could care less. That's not the type of woman you would want to deal with anyway. A man can determine who can discern if they dealing with a gold digger or they dealing with a genuine woman.
Right. And I feel like at this age too, I feel like at this age as well that we are at a place where we don't want anyone who isn't financially stable also. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with that because men and women alike, I know for me, I'm in my late 30s. So in my early 20s, I was okay with getting with someone who didn't have his stuff together. I worked 2 jobs when I was with my son's father, you know what I mean, just to help him out. And we were a partnership. I worked 2 jobs and did all of that. But at this point in my life, I don't want to have to get with someone who isn't financially stable because I take care of my children and myself. So I feel like we shouldn't have to put up with that as well. It doesn't mean that I want you to go broke buying me a Louis bag or anything like that, but I do want you to be financially stable, if that makes sense.
And I will say that the opinions and the thoughts of of what's going on in this podcast is not indicative of everything that's going on in the King's School podcast. So everything that we are saying is just opinions, folks, and it's not necessarily opinions of one or the other. But on the Kings Can Move on podcast, we will learn how to work through these things like such.
That was a plug.
Thank you for that, Frank. All right, so ladies, and I'm gonna get to you guys. What is the first thing that you notice about a man?
His teeth and how he smells. His shoes.
What you say, Toy? What you say, girl?
I
Look
love
at Frank smiling.
He got the Colgate grin.
Yeah, I love teeth, and if they smell really good, and the smile is what catches me first, though. Me.
Yep. Peg.
Yeah, I agree. The teeth, they are a major thing, and how they smell. Also, their personality. Because if they come off as a jerk, I'm already disconnected. So if they're not personable, or they come off as arrogant, or thinking, they God's gift, then I'm already, I've already, disconnected.
Trina. Same thing, teeth and smell and the muscles and the tattoos get me every time. I'm trying to tell you. Woo! On the off. Anyway, yes.
Okay.
Oh goodness.
You got to
He is really. Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
Good. Okay, good.
All right, guys. What's the first thing you notice on a woman? Be honest.
Right.
My
They can't even say nothing. Look, that's why we make the decisions.
Exactly.
That's right.
Thank you. Tell Khalil he's on mute.
On mute.
Khalil, you're on mute.
I said I only could hear you and Peggy, so I was reading the comments for questions.
You can hear me?
So what is the first thing a man notices about a
hear
woman?
Me, Khalil?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh,
or I couldn't.
Okay. Since I came back out and came back in, now he can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first thing I noticed, let's see, so probably just like their smile or just their body. Of course, we're visual, so
yes, y'all are.
Obviously I'm gonna look at that, see how they and their appearance. That's like the first thing I look at. But as people, we're visual, so
the first thing he look at is not their smile. But okay.
I feel the right answer to say is their smile.
With the first thing he look at.
Okay, so Esther said she like gray beards, and Candace said her husband noticed her teeth and legs.
It's something about them gray beards now. Y'all saw
yes.
Those guys,
the silver.
Oh, my goodness.
David Banner do it for me.
Stop dyeing your beard, dog. I told you. Stop doing it.
Yeah, Frank, stop dyeing the beard because women like it. What do you like?
Yeah.
Frank? What's the first thing you notice?
Who, me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm an ass man. So I like a woman with a nice ass. I mean, like, because if they ain't got no ass, they got Nasitol. What's that? It's Nasitol, no ass at all. So I like to see a woman with a nice ass, and then I'm gonna look at her teeth, make sure she got them all, and they ain't crooked. They don't have a tooth right here and a tooth right behind it. I don't want to see that shit. I mean, I don't give a damn. They make $1 billion. I don't want to see a tooth right here and a tooth behind it, and I want to see a nice ass. I don't care if they the corporate or they the IBM CEO. I don't want to see a tooth right here and a tooth right there.
We get it, Frank. We get it, Frank. Keep it real. Keep it real, Frank.
That's what I first said.
Frank is make sure we had him back on this podcast.
Well, I gotta follow Frank, but I'm not gonna say I think the right thing to say was the smile, all that good shit. But I'm like Frank. I like a nice ass, and then a nice smile, and then a nice conversation. If you can't talk about nothing, yeah, okay, you can go on.
But that ain't the first thing. You're not gonna hear their first impression. I mean, you're not gonna see the first.
Well, if I approach them and they talk, they could be a great ass and great smile and start talking like Shanae. Like,
yeah.
Oh no,
yeah,
that's true. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about online dating?
I love it.
Have you done it? You liked it?
I love it. I prefer it because I'm actually very shy when it comes to the club.
What?
Yeah.
I'm Frank shy.
Yeah. When it comes to I'm actually very shy when it comes to
I don't
women
believe
in a
that.
club. So I would much rather meet someone online, and I want to make sure that we're compatible. And when you're at a club, you're just meeting somebody, you're just talking to them, and you don't really know about them. But when online, you can see what their profile is, what if they match what you like. Because if they can have a nice ass, pretty teeth, and can tell me that they're a Trump supporter, and or they support the government, and I'm just like, okay, I'm out.
Okay, I just realized I can push on one of the comments and all of y'all can see it. Can y'all see what Esther said?
Yeah, we see it now.
Yeah, okay.
Nice.
Okay. All right.
Ask Khalil, Peggy.
I just did.
Okay.
Khalil.
All right, what's the question? Online dating? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes, online dating.
That's the new trend right now.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
I like it.
It's all right. It's a cool way to get to know somebody. Just in that way, give it time before you go out with them, so you can make a decision in that atmosphere. So I like it. I do it myself, but it can be offsetting sometimes when you meet them and they're not that person they appear to be. So that happens a lot. That's why you got
You
that
mean
show
being
Catfish.
catfish?
But other than that, I think online dating straight.
Sharita asked, do you mean catfish, Khalil?
Yes. That's
okay.
right.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that it was overwhelming. Like,
well, here's the thing that me and Jason have talked about in the past. If any of you women are online dating, stop doing this shit of taking pictures from the chest up to up. Stop that. We gonna like if we like you, we like you. Stop doing that. Stop doing this. Show us all this. Show us all that love.
now suppose you get to like me good, Frank, and we meet, and I don't have a big ass. So what that ain't we like each other?
Every man don't like a big ass though.
I'm talking about you.
Well, I would have looked at you. I'm like, well, shit, red. Ooh, good look at red. Ooh, look at those freckles. I would have said, girl, let me like this one. Like, I would have, but then as we went on, if we would have actually went out on a date, and I'm like, okay, what the rest of your pictures, red, for real, and let me make that decision for myself, just like you ladies would want us to make. You all want a full frontal. I remember going on a date and the girl said, "You got some old pictures."
You got some more pictures?
She's like, your pictures are old. I'm like, well, shit, I just took them 6 months ago, but they old. I'm like, okay, well, thanks for letting me know.
Who was trying to catfish a Frank?
Yeah, I guess so.
We could change in 6 months. Why do you guys like to be chased?
Okay, now that's the question.
Who?
I said women. Why do you guys like to be chased? Why do you like to be chased, women?
Women. Women. I thought she said men.
No.
I'm not chasing no man.
No.
Yeah, they like the new ones like to be chased.
Some of them do like to be chased.
And I don't like to be. I think that, like, if I'm not interested and I tell you I'm not interested, that don't mean go harder. I think, again, social media has influenced people to think that, oh, if you like me, chase me down, and I want a man to chase me, and I don't want any of that, because if I'm not interested, leave me alone.
But what's that happy medium? Out of curiosity, where is that happy medium? Because a lot of women will say that they don't want. Jason's Lyric, for a perfect example. If you guys watched the movie Jason's Lyric, she was going off and saying that she didn't want to be, she wasn't acting interested until he continued to pursue her. You know what I'm saying? And then they fell in love.
But this ain't the movie. If they say, look, I ain't interested, don't do it.
Yeah, like, I'm just not interested.
So then that's when you become, it goes
Well,
from
that's the difference from being chased
stalker.
and harassed.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But see, at first you're like, it's cool. We could just be cool. They don't take no. So then you become a bitch to them. And then that takes it somewhere else. Like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Mama Cambridge said, "Chasing is scary." Yeah.
That's right. It is scary.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
But so how do you all as a woman show a man that you're interested in him?
I have trouble with that. So I don't know. Y'all help me. Maybe y'all can help me.
Yeah, I think I do too because I've been told that I'm not very responsive when it comes to text,
Me
and it's not intentional. I'm gonna get a text and it might be 2-3 days before I respond because I'm like, oh, I forgot I ain't respond, but it's not intentional.
So, men, they need y'all to tell them because all three of them say they don't know. So,
Oh.
what is it? What they need to do?
So if I said, you know what, Felicia, I've been looking at you and we've been having this podcast for you've been inviting us on, and me and Jason been telling you no and telling you no. But now, Felicia, I'm looking at you tonight. I know you in another town, but damn, you are fine, and I would like to get to know you more. Felicia, go.
Go, Felicia, go.
That's exactly what she gonna do. That's exactly what she gonna do. She gonna be like,
Go, Felicia, go.
I can't. I can't.
she's doing exactly what she would do right there.
You gotta fluster, Frank. You gotta fluster.
This is not a conversation for live.
Oh man.
Look, but see, Frank, you weren't doing all that trying to showing the little swag and stuff early and stuff. You was try to get yeah. Yeah, trying to pick kids back and you try to get into the little radio voice and stuff, trying to, get all up in there. See, you weren't doing all that. We see the little sides,
all of that,
the
you might
Casanova side and stuff. Mm-hmm.
Frank was trying to role play.
No.
Okay, so let me answer his question for real. If he was serious about that, I would say, let's talk about it. Because I tell my cousins, my male family members, when you see a woman and you know that she's single, you're interested or whatever, shoot your shot. All they can do is say no.
Basically.
And then once they say no, like Toya said, move on.
And you know what? And we all joke and everything, but I'll ask women actually, how do you all approach a man if you're interested?
I don't.
I did.
I have before.
I have.
Times I have, yeah.
I did. Yeah, I did. I was also.
Said she was drunk.
Even if they have a significant other, have you all said,
"Oh,
I'm still gonna do it"?
That ain't for this show. No.
Oh, Mary Jane.
If they got a significant other, you off limits to me now. If I don't know, that's one thing. But if you got a significant other, absolutely not. I don't want that done to me.
Mm-mm. That's not, yeah. You don't push up on somebody who got a significant other on the pretense that it's going to be something meaningful. Mm-hmm. That's not what that's for. Right. Not saying that they don't do that, but you got to know when that happens. You already got to know what category that's going to be.
But that person may believe in polyamory.
That needs to go back to our last podcast. Are you in a relationship or a situation?
Yeah. You're right.
What kind of relationship it is?
It ain't no relationship. That's a situation. That because you already know if you rolling up on somebody who got a significant other, that's a situation. You create a situation.
Unless, which is not a part of. Antoinette, our polyamorous. She was going to be on here tonight. She got sick, but unless you're in that kind of relationship where he says, "Okay, well, let me introduce you to my significant other," and they're okay with it, but I'm not polyamorous.
So what do you guys think about
No,
that?
I don't. No, don't introduce. No, not me.
There's a lot of that going on out here. We had a
It
whole
is.
podcast on it.
I mean, I'm not. No, I don't want to meet somebody and they tell me, okay, I want you to meet my wife. Y'all not putting me in those threesomes.
It just
I don't think
depends.
it's a threesome.
I agree.
It just depends. I'm not like against it. It doesn't just depends on the situation, honestly.
You're not against someone with
Polyamory.
other or being
Right. If it was like a three-way relationship, that wouldn't bother me necessarily. I mean, I don't have a lot of time to invest and to put into one person. So if it was in the open, it wouldn't really bother me.
So, Toy, you're saying you're into threesomes?
Oh, what was that?
Not
Toy, are you into threesomes? I mean,
That's
I'm
what
just
she's saying.
asking for a friend, Toy. Asking for a friend.
He's asking.
What I'm saying
Katrina wanted to ask.
is, if there is an
I'm talking about threesomes, Khalil.
Nah, but what was the question?
Does
said, would I be
Toy
against
like does Toy like threesomes?
That was thunder. That was thunder. I'll be back.
yeah, it is thunder.
You said
threesomes and three-way and polyamory. That's two different things. That's two different things.
It just depends on the situation.
Polyamory, from what we were told on the podcast, is I'm in a relation. I'm just gonna use Frank and Jason for example.
Oh, me and Jason ain't in no relationship.
No,
Jason. You Jason to somebody else.
No. That's not polyamory. No. Polyamory is if I'm in the relationship with Frank and I'm in a relationship with Jason, and they both know that they're both in a relationship with me, and they're okay with it.
Right. Because unfortunately, a lot of women are in that type of situation unbeknownst to them.
They don't even know it.
Ain't that dating? Ain't that what that is? Ain't that dating?
Well, a lot of it is, but a lot of times men don't know that we're dating unless we say we're dating. But in her situation, in Antoinette's situation, and I hate to talk about her, she's not on here, but her situation, she had literally two boyfriends that she was dealing with. She was in a relationship with both of them, so it had gone past dating. She's in a full-blown relationship with both of them.
Felicia asked Khalil what his opinion on polyamory is.
Khalil, what's your opinion on polyamory?
Everybody gonna do what they want to do. I'm not for it, but I'm not gonna tell anybody how to live their life at the end of the day. So if that's how you feel you want to do it, then go ahead and do it.
Right. I don't agree with it, but
right.
I think that like Jason said, there's a lot of it being done. People just don't know that they're in it.
Yeah.
You don't know you're in it.
What about a swinging lifestyle? What's your opinion on that?
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's
not wrong being a swinger.
What's that?
I just asked. You said.
Trina answered quick.
Yes, you did.
Oh no! Who said that out loud? Oh,
Katrina.
Frank.
I agree. I agree. I don't think there's anything wrong with polyamory. I don't think there's anything wrong with swinging. I think it's all whatever floats your boat. And just truly, what is your partner? As long as you're in agreement with your partner, whoever you're dating or being with, so you can't do that shit on the side,
right?
Because that you're being players and playettes.
Right. You need to be honest.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes people think that, if I'm honest, no one, my partner's not going to agree to it. But you would be surprised. As long as you're honest, you may have somebody that may agree with it. You might be surprised, and they were like, well, shoot, I didn't think you wanted to do it.
Right. They were like, me too.
You might just be surprised.
That communication thing.
It is.
All right, so I want to ask another question that we also talked about on our podcast. I want to ask everybody on here, do you know what your love language is? All right, so Kay, you say you know. What's your love language?
I need positive affirmation. Really big to me.
Isn't there like two of them? Usually you got like two of them or something like that.
You can have,
You
yeah,
got as many as you want, but
if you want, and it can be in an order, or you can have two. I mean, I have two. What's yours, Frank?
Mine is positive affirmations and the touching. Like I want to be, I want my mate to feel like. Well, let me rephrase that. I want my woman because I don't, and nothing wrong with someone who is interested in men or women only, but for me, a woman, I want them to touch me. If I'm sitting laying on a lap, I got my head on a lap, shit, I want them to rub my head and touch my chest and other things.
so Esther, someone wrote a book about knowing your 5 love languages and how you interact in a relationship. So it's positive or words of affirmation, physical touch, acts of
Quality time.
service, gifts given, and what's the other one?
I think quality time's one, ain't it?
Quality time. Those 5.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, gift giving.
Yeah.
All right. So Khalil, what's your love language? Do you know your love language?
I do not. I don't ever follow those. I don't connect myself to those.
Okay.
Ask him what is he like.
So what's the first thing that if you were with your woman, what would you want her to do most for or to you, or do you like to be hugged? Do you like for her to tell her that you're handsome? What do you like?
None of those. Just communicate better. Talk.
Communication. Okay.
We said that should be one, didn't we?
Yeah.
Communication.
Actually, that is on some of them. There's 7. So, and communication sometimes comes in. So that's good. Peggy, is Peggy still with us?
Yes.
Toya, what's your
She's
love
frozen.
language? You know what your love language is?
Mine is gift giving and physical touch.
You said my love language?
No, I'm talking to Toya.
Oh.
Is it Toya or Toy?
It's Toy.
Okay, I'm sorry. I've been saying Toya. I'm sorry, Toy.
Okay. Yeah. So gift giving and physical touch.
Okay. Jason?
I think the last time I took it, it was physical touch, and I thought it was quality time, but that may not be right because I like my time to myself. So it may be, maybe, it may be positive affirmation.
Okay.
I like my time.
All right. Now that we done gone through the love languages, do you think that when you're meeting a person that they need to you need to know, like for instance, Khalil, when you're talking to a person, they kind of need to know how you want to be loved. Because a lot of times people are like, oh, he doesn't like me because he doesn't hold my hand or whatever, or he doesn't spend enough time with me. Well, it may be somebody like Jason who wants his time himself, so he's not going to give you that quality time. So in the beginning, do you think that you, along with everything else, that you need to tell that person, hey, you may not believe in love languages, but I like quality time, and I like to have that physical touch. You think you should, or let them learn that as they go along? A lot of times I think we let people learn us as we go along instead
I
of.
think you should tell people what you like.
Yeah, I think that should be up front. Like I said, communication. Like you never know how they're gonna feel about your actions because you don't want to do something they want to do, and now they feel some type of way, vice versa. So I think that's something you should talk about right out the gate.
Okay, I agree with that. Toya, you were saying something? Toya.
Oh yeah, I think it's okay. It's okay. I think that you should tell people up front. Like he said, communication is big. So I feel like you should be able to tell somebody, especially if you're trying to date them, you should be able to tell them that I require this or I want this. I don't like that. So that there aren't many issues. That's my opinion.
Peggy, we were asking about the love languages. What's your love? Do you know what your love language is?
Hold on a second.
She said something about thunder, so she might be having some bad weather. Sharita, what's yours?
Positive affirmation and quality time.
Okay. And mine is physical touch and quality time.
What in you guys' opinion is positive affirmations?
By telling me that you like what I have on, or you think I'm pretty, or you like my hair, or things like that. Just telling me nice things about myself.
It would, and for a person who feels like that positive affirmations is their love language, do they give it in return?
You're not supposed to. We end up doing that, but half of the time that's not the other person's love language. It's
right.
Mine. Unless it's yours, you need to tell me what yours is. A lot of times we end up giving people what ours is.
Right.
Giving our mates what ours is instead of what theirs is.
And you find out that you end up loving the person the way you want to be loved, and then get mad when they don't reciprocate. And it's like we missing each other. We kind of missing each other.
How do you feel? How do women feel like we can overcome that?
By talking up front. Communication.
Like asking about sex and shit, right?
Absolutely. Anything, yeah.
Right. You're right.
Wow, chicka, wow, wow. And like that.
Didn't he say he was shy?
He ain't no shy.
I feel like we're amongst family right now. We're not at club.
We're amongst family. That's right, Frank.
Your partner just spins water all on his computer screen and everything.
Damn, man. Come on, man. Come on now.
Guys, I have had so much fun with you all. Y'all know we've been literally talking nonstop for almost 2 hours. It's good stuff. We might have to have a part 2 because, guys, listen. These are all the questions, and we haven't gotten through but 3 of these.
Well, Trina and Peggy stop lying, and Toy stop lying. We can get stuff.
He said Toy lying.
Things real of why you women are messing up in life. I'm just saying. I'm just saying for a friend. Somebody just sent me a comment and said they need to stop lying. That's all I'm saying.
Somebody need to stop lying.
So Toy, stop lying.
He said me and Toy. He said if we get out,
they're watching as well.
I don't know, Frank. I'm gonna have to, have to get my life together.
All right, I got one more question, and I think we are going. I know you guys got to get ready for tomorrow, but one more question, and I want everybody to answer this. I want everybody to answer. Sharita said we need a part 2 and a 3, so we might think about it. I want everybody to answer this. If your woman or your man cheated on you, how easy would it be for you to get over it? Or would you be able to get over it and move on?
Ask Khalil first.
Khalil?
That's not something I can get over. I would have to walk away. But I think any reasonable relationship, they should talk about it and see how they feel, and if that's something they can overcome. But for myself, I'll walk away.
Okay.
Well, I'll jump in, and I'll say my answer is based upon my experience. So when I've been in serious relationships, I haven't cheated. So if I was to be cheated on, I probably wouldn't handle it very well, and I would have to go ahead and just bounce. So that's just me.
Okay.
Frank.
No, the women got to answer because they ain't saying shit.
Oh well. After I bust the windows out his car.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, that's what I was say. I rolled over my full-time.
I gotta walk away because I can't forget it. I'm gonna bring it up for years down the road. I mean, I can't forget it. I probably can't. So no.
It's not easy to forgive. I guess because it just depends. It's, for
I
me,
think the problem is if you say you can, but then you still hang on to it, you ain't.
no.
So it comes up later on.
You talking about if I cheated or they cheated?
If
Well, I'm thinking if anybody cheats, period, and you say we can work through it, but then
Well,
you later.
if I cheat, nobody, they would never know.
Oh shit!
Come on.
What you mean?
I've never.
You that slick, huh?
I have never seen.
So you a cheater? That's what you're saying is a pro.
I ain't gonna say I'm a pro.
He called you a pro.
Yeah, I'm a pro. I ain't gonna say I'm a pro, but I'm just saying I know how to be discreet. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Well, let's say
Come on.
women are better cheaters anyway.
I don't recall me being blatantly. I don't recall me being just blatantly, disrespectful to my relationship. If I feel like it's getting to that point that I need to cheat, then the relationship is pretty much already over.
That's true.
It's already on its way out.
That's 6 months.
I would not stay in a long-term relationship knowing that 85% of the time I'm cheating.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just a no-brainer, I don't want to, and then I wouldn't want to stay with somebody who I wouldn't want to stay with nobody who don't want to be there no more. And if I don't want to be there no more, I'm not going to just be there for the reason of trying to appease them. I'm not going to put my happiness so, no, it's probably a no for me.
Most people need to think like you, Peggy.
All right, Frank the Tank.
Toy and Trina haven't answered.
You go next. I want you.
Okay. So
yeah, Frank, go ahead.
I go back to the old Color Purple. I don't know if y'all watch Color Purple, where Oprah Winfrey said, that white lady said, you get your kids so nice and they stay so clean. Do you mind being my maid? And Oprah looked her dead in the eye and said, hell no. That's how I feel about if I would be with a woman if she cheated on me. Hell no. Ain't no need. There's no need for me to be with her because I'm gonna treat her. The thing with me is I've been cheated on. And I stayed in a relationship when I was younger, and from that point on I wasn't right, and I cheated on her as much as I possibly could to try to get over that feeling. And yeah, that was 30 some odd years later. It's 30 some odd years later, but I can't tell you that my feelings wouldn't still be the same as far as if somebody cheated on me.
Well,
Cavani said,
I agree.
Forget it, but it is possible to forgive. Now, I've been cheated on. My ex-fiance cheated on me a while ago. I have to admit it was a different kind of circumstance. But I could forgive him, but I couldn't be with him because I was going to be thinking about it, and I probably would have cheated on him too, at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was best to let that go. We got some comments here. Candy said depends on the love for the person. I also saw a comment on here. Sharita said we need to have a 2 and a 3. Candy said her husband want to be on the next one. She said her hubby. She said yes, part 2, and my hubby wants to be on.
I think that's fair because y'all got 5 against 3 right now. That just wasn't right.
Well, I'm a host. I haven't been saying
We were
Frank, don't start with that victim mess, Frank.
Neutral.
Because you've been really aggressive on here tonight.
Peggy, I definitely want you on our podcast. I gotta have you on our podcast. And on cheating ass Trina too. With your cheating ass. And Red, we definitely want you on. Khalil, we want you on since we haven't had a chance to really talk to you, and we had to go through
what's wrong? I feel like nothing wrong with it if you just not being, as long as you know if you're being smart with it. I don't be just going out here, I'm cheating on you, I'm cheating on you, I'm cheating on you. No, I don't go into saying like I'm doing that. You trying to make it seem like I'm just doing it all.
Yeah, you went old 6 months messing with somebody and getting pleased for 6 months. Y'all sneaky asses. Y'all sneaky.
Women do cheat better than men, though.
Trina, you really doing that?
That's the misconception I want to get cleared up. It's not that women cheat better than men. Men are not as receptive as you guys is cheating. I've cheated and I've been cheated on, but the thing is, you always know. You can see men have the same certain intuition that a woman has. Because when you women cheat, y'all don't treat the men the same way. Y'all truly don't. And let me shut up because I don't want to give y'all no more damn ammunition.
No, you're wrong. When you if you got a feeling that they cheating, that's because they done some hints been left there. But if they know what they're doing, you ain't gonna know.
Well, I want Frank and Jason to do part 2. How about y'all host part 2?
What about Khalil?
We can do that.
We can go to Khalil next.
My hands are ashy, but yeah.
Khalil say he cutting them off from the cord. He just cutting them.
All right, so Miss Esther said,
we got girl and sleeporn on here.
Men can't handle being cheated on. You right, Popcorn.
You damn right, Mama Cambridge. We sure can.
No, Mama Cambridge.
They can't handle it. They cannot handle it.
But they do it, but they can't handle it.
Look,
yeah, they the first ones to do it.
He do that I ain't do. Was he bigger than me, or did he do this? Did he do that?
Yeah. And then the men, when y'all get cheated on, y'all the first one that got to put a whole broadcast out. Oh, she did this and she did that. No, all this stuff. Y'all need to go ahead and do that.
Are men really at the end of the day more sensitive than women?
Absolutely.
Yes.
More what?
Sensitive. Absolutely.
Yeah, y'all are.
Yeah. Gosh, y'all are.
You think so?
Y'all might have that hard exterior. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
And Frank,
I don't think we're more sensitive. We just have more respect.
That's why a lot of men are in prison.
Hold on. What one of y'all talking to? Frank and
what did Khalil say?
Khalil, what you said?
I said I don't think it's a sensitive thing. I think we just hold women to a high standard. So maybe it's just a letdown if they cheat on us.
I can buy that.
Low standard. That's what I'm saying. That's the part that I have.
So you already saying the men's standards is low.
Right.
So y'all don't expect for the women to stoop down to y'all level.
No, that's not what he's saying. I think that what he's saying is
that should never happen. Nobody should want to stoop down to anybody's level.
Precious little.
You should just eliminate it by moving away, by like splitting up.
Hold on, guys. Everybody that's not Frank and Khalil, everybody else mute their phone, please, because we're getting a lot of feedback.
Tell Khalil to repeat himself. I'm sorry, I was talking.
Khalil, repeat yourself.
I said, I don't think men are sensitive. They just hold women to a standard that if they cheat, then we just kind of lose respect for them. But then she said, we probably have lower standards if we do the same thing. But I just say, I don't know. You see it a lot from a man. Like it just that's a double standard. I would say, which that's the best way I could put it.
Okay, Frank, what were you saying now?
I was saying that I think that we put women on a pedestal. I think men put women on a pedestal. Like if we find somebody that we really are into and we really want to be with, we'll try to move mountains for that woman. And if we find out that that woman has cheated on us because whatever the case may be, then that mountain crumbles. And then we are, at least in my situation, is a situation where if that mountain crumbles, then shit, I gotta build some more mountains.
And every other woman after her gets it.
I agree with that.
I plead the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth.
But you know what? You can say that for women too, because I know before I got over it, any man that came at me acting in a certain way or made me a little suspicious if they did something suspicious that maybe felt like or looked like something my ex did, I was looking at him side-eye thinking he was cheating.
Mm-hmm.
Caused a couple of unnecessary arguments and everything else because
but that's where counseling comes in play too.
Like that. Yeah, that's my counselor right there at the top, over top of me.
So she's analyzing us right now, then, huh?
That's her job. I wish that's what
she couldn't help me.
Yes, I could, Peggy.
I don't think nobody can help Peggy's ass. Mean ass.
Hold on, Frank. Don't talk about Peggy.
Peggy is mean as hell.
I wish I was a fly on the wall for your therapy. I wish I was a fly on that wall.
All right, let's see if we have any more responses. Miss Esther said, I don't own my mate, so their decision is their own. I think that was when we were talking about cheating, whether we would be able to forgive them. We got a couple of say that again, Peggy. You right. Sean. She analyzing, right, Sean? But that's what Red is a licensed practice counselor. So she probably have been analyzing y'all on here.
She didn't have enough time in her. She didn't have enough time in her session for me.
You're going to charge us for the next one.
I had Peggy on weekly.
All right. Are there any other questions from our guys who are online listening to us? Do you have any other questions before we I want to do a roundabout, kind of have you guys say any comments, any last minute comments that you may have, and then we're going to say good night, guys. Are there any other questions from those guys that are listening to us live? We got a couple of stop, Frank.
Candy said just a comment. This was great.
Everybody love Frank and Peggy.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Frank and Peggy show.
Yes, it's the Frank and Peggy show.
The Frank and Peggy. All right, now who wants to go first? Just sum up your your comments. The question. Let's read the question again. Are in relationships, are we doing too much or not enough? Who want to go first?
You want to put Khalil in there first?
You want to go first, Khalil?
Yeah, I'll go first. So it's always gonna be not enough. You can always improve. So that's always the question. Just keep on improving and doing more. That's the only way you're gonna get better together. Or if the goal is to be in a relationship for a longer time.
I agree. All right. Jason, we're gonna go around.
I think we're not doing enough, especially when I look back at like our older like parents and things who've been married forever and ever, and I'm like, I don't know how you did that because I can't even see it. But I think we have a tendency to quit very easily these days, especially in relationships. We're like, you know what, I'm out. So yeah, we're not doing enough. I know I'm guilty of that myself.
All right, Toy.
I agree. I would say not enough.
Okay, Peggy.
I would concur with everybody else. So we, you know, at the end of the day, we there's always things that we can improve on. So no, we're not doing enough.
Okay. You're on mute, sweetheart.
Sorry, zoned out. I would agree with everybody else. I don't think we're doing enough. I think I just feel like these days people really don't know how to communicate. I think the lack of communication is really key, and people just really don't know how to communicate with one another. I don't know if it's because of these cell phones, social media, or what. But you know, I'm the old school one that like to be on the phone. I like to hear the voice. I like to do things like that, and things have changed so much. And I think, you know, communication can get misconstrued when we talking about a text message, because I can read, and Sharita knows, because I done read some text messages to her and I was angry reading them. And she was like, well, what if it was like this? And I'm like, no, the text came like this. So I don't think we're doing enough. I think, you know, it's just some factors in place that we really need to work on.
Okay. All right. All right, Frank the Tank.
Jump with her.
I will say yes and no, and here's the reason why I say that. I think that we're all put on this earth to experience life and enjoy every bit of it. Some of us, when we're in this life, that we're going to experience a relationship to a certain extent, and then like a chapter in a book, that relationship ends and we move on to the next chapter. Now, some people have a novel to where that book goes from beginning to end, and you enjoy that. You enjoy that every aspect of it. You enjoy it and don't enjoy every aspect of it, but you're in there to read that entire book, entire novel. Whereas some people may only get a chapter out of that book and find it extremely valuable, and then go to the next chapter, and it could be completely different from that previous chapter, and you're enjoying that chapter too. That doesn't mean that you didn't like the last chapter as much as you enjoy this chapter, but it's just different. So I think that yes and no. You get it, and you get out of it what you get put into it.
That's true.
All right.
Was that good? Was that good, Miss Counselor Red?
Like Trina said, I zoned out for a second, but I'm like, come on, Frank, land this plane. Come on, Frank.
Where am I going? What is Frank
going? Y'all not gonna.
I don't know why they're doing you like that, Frank. I don't know why they're doing you like that.
I'm not gonna let y'all do Frank like that. I understand what you're saying. All right, guys. Red, you got anything else you want to say?
No, this has been great. This has been fun. They're asking for part 2 and part 3. So hopefully you guys, and Toy, thank you for kind of stepping in at the last minute and joining and being a part of it. We enjoyed you. You came in, guns blazing, line and everything, but it was great.
Oh my. Y'all not gonna do Toy like that. Y'all are not gonna do Toy like that. Frank started that mess.
Oh my goodness.
Can y'all tell me in the smile for a minute so all these women can get that smile?
Oh no, he won't
Can you tell Khalil to smile for a minute? Jay, smile.
Khalil looking serious.
Who?
Look at Jason. Jason with the Colgate man.
Not smiling at all. All right, guys. Well, we definitely appreciate each and every one of you for coming on, and the audience has requested a part 2 and a part 3, so we will definitely oblige. We appreciate everyone that came on live to hear this, and I think we were on here a little bit longer than what we actually expected. So, but it was good. It was a good conversation, and obviously things that people wanted to know. We knew that it was going to be good, but we didn't know it was going to be this good. So we are definitely going to continue this. Who knows? We may be able to do something in person. So we'll see about that. But thank you guys. Inspire Her. We love you. And we want you to continue to listen to us on Inspire Her The Total Woman podcast. We are going to download the audio from this. We're going to create a podcast from this. And then we're also going to send this out to some of our different pages or put on YouTube and some other things. So you guys might be getting some messages in your inbox about some of the things that you have said today. Who knows, Frank the Tank? You might get some ladies with some good teeth texting you.
And a big butt.
He said he ready. He ready.
Ready. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We definitely.
Peace out. Love y'all. Thank y'all very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.